Hello, in this brief video I want to explain a little bit more about the paradox of thrift that was discussed in an article in Economic Review by Robert Nutter. In order to do this, I'm going to introduce you to a very simple model of a macroeconomy with which you may not be familiar, but it just does explain how the paradox of thrift comes about. Let's start with a few assumptions about an economy. It's going to be a very simple economy in which there is no international trade and no government. So aggregate demand is simply consumption plus investment. I'm going to assume that savings depend upon income and that investment is autonomous. And what I mean by that in this context is that it does not vary with national income. Now, in order to think about equilibrium in this model, we must realize that investment expenditure by firms has to be financed. And we assume that firms will fund their investment by borrowing on financial markets. Equally, households will save that portion of income which they don't spend on consumption, and that savings will be lodged in financial markets. In other words, when the economy is in equilibrium, it will be the case that planned savings is equal to planned investment. In other words, there is just enough finance in financial markets to allow firms to borrow in order to undertake investment. Now, we can show this relationship very simply on a diagram. So here we've got national income on the horizontal axis, and we've got savings and investment on the vertical axis. Now, we've said that investment does not vary with national income, so investment is given by this horizontal line at I. So this is the amount of investment that firms wish to undertake. Savings, we've said, depend upon income, so S0 denotes a particular level of savings, showing how it varies with national income depending on consumers' preferences. Now, the point at which planned savings equals planned investment is this point here, Y0, and that represents equilibrium national income. Now, the paradox of thrift involves thinking about what happens if the amount of savings in the economy increases. So let's suppose that savings increase from S0 to S1. This will take us to a new level of equilibrium national income at Y1. So what we see very clearly here is the way that an increase in savings behavior by households leads to a fall in equilibrium national income. In the article, Robert Nutter explains why this should happen, and fundamentally it's because higher savings means lower spending. Lower spending induces a negative multiplier process, and it's that negative multiplier process that leads to lower equilibrium income. Okay, a very brief video, but I hope that was helpful in clarifying what's going on here. Thank you.